What's holding you back from starting your own business? You're going to want to stick around for this.
This is the Franchise Pitfalls and Profit Show. Each week, we bring you the challenges and triumphs of being in the franchise development and consulting business. The things you need to make money faster. And now your host, one of the most successful franchise developers in North America, Don Shin.
You know, we announced recently the fact that we have started a franchise brokerage consultant career coaching arm or division, if you will, of our company, Franchise Building Expert. So many of my podcasts have been about helping those in the profession of selling franchises and matching people to franchises and evaluating whether people would be good at being an entrepreneur, good at being a business owner. Now we're going to start more podcasts, and today is the launch of helping you consider owning your own business. I think some of those did help you as well, but now we're really looking at helping individuals, matching them not only to a good industry, not only to the right profession, but matching them to the right company that's got the right leadership and the right culture and the right phase or stage in their business to match you up, whether it's an emerging brand or a more tenured company. So today is my launch of helping you through considering business ownership for yourself. So what I want to do is talk about some of the challenges that you are going to face as you consider becoming an entrepreneur, as you consider starting your own business or owning your own business. So we're going to talk about three things specifically. And again, I help our career coaches, I help the broker industry help people through these, but I thought it really important from the consumer perspective, from the buyer's perspective. I really want to help you with these same things. So let's look at some of these together. Fear. Fear is one of the biggest things that is going to hold you back from becoming a business owner. And so what does fear stand for? False expectations appearing real. You know, and I've heard it said from psychologists and psychiatrists and behavioral experts that 95% of what we fear never comes true. And I found that to be really, really interesting. I don't know how they manage that or track that or measure that. But the reality is, if you really look at the things that you worry about, odds are a majority of these things don't come through. And yet I find this is one of the top three things that will hold you back from being an entrepreneur, from being a business owner, from having all of the things that you can achieve and have and experience through owning your own business. So it's a good thing to look at. And again, the consultants, the career coaches that we work with, and certainly here at Franchise Building Expert, we dig into what's going to hold you back. We dig into the fears that you might have about this. You know, I one of the things that just motivates me was a quote that I heard, or a speech that I heard from the CEO of McDonald's. And what he said is that franchising in particular is the on-ramp to entrepreneurship and building family wealth. And today, after bouncing out of 3 years of shutdowns and pandemics and all of those kinds of things, really, really interesting how the industry is shifting from the standpoint of some people stepping right out and saying, I'm done with corporate America. There's more to life than that. Other people saying, I don't have the confidence in my employer anymore. I don't have the confidence in a paycheck on a regular basis anymore, but I'm not quite there to just jump out of it. So how can I start to become an entrepreneur? How can I look at maybe building additional revenue streams that may someday be my primary business? But we help you through and ask you the right questions to determine what's holding you back. What are you really afraid of? And we also share with you, as career coaches, we also share with you the fact that we will tell you when we see that, boy, you are really lined up to get into the right industry for you, and to relying on our resources and our technology and our almost 60 years of experience in franchising. We're telling you you're in the right place. We found a couple of really good companies that fit you. And we're going to tell you that fear is the only thing holding you back from reaching your dreams and experiencing your dreams and reaching your objectives and your goals. And we're going to coach you through that. So recognize fear, one of the big things that is going to hold you back from achieving your dreams. Now, what really is fear? What we find in this setting, we find that the highest level of fear, if you decide to move forward, the highest level of fear, or even before you move forward, when you're looking at this, the highest level of fear is that time period when your business is not yet achieving your financial needs. And I would say here that again, we'll work with you on some of these things, but you want to look at not the year where you spent the most money, went on the biggest vacation, bought the car of your dreams. We're not looking at your expenses from that perspective. What you've got to look at are, what are your basic needs, and that's what you have to be sure you plan for in the startup of your business, so that you're not worried about putting food on the table, literally or figuratively. You're not worried about the mortgage payment. You're not worried about the car payment if you have a car payment. You want to see what your basics are. And we say typically probably about 6 months. You want to plan for those basic needs so that you never fear making those payments. And realistically, businesses, now I'm not saying your ROI on your investment or anything of that nature. What I'm talking about is your basic cash flowing, your personal needs from the business. And it could be as quickly as 3 months, could maybe take a year, but fundamentally, for planning purposes, think about 6 months probably, and your business should be able to provide those fundamental needs so that you no longer really are worrying about that. But this is what most people are most fearful about. It's that initial starting up the business. How do I get through that? And how you really get through that, honestly, is through planning and getting advisors that are going to help you put together that type of a plan. Now, another thing that's going to mess you up from starting your own business is going to be time. And this sort of is a spinoff of the fear. People overanalyze, analysis is paralysis, or there's a phrase, something like that, paralysis through analysis. But the bottom line is, honestly, you're never, ever going to have 100% of the information you think you need or you feel you need in order to make the decision. Remember reading General Colin Powell's book years ago, and I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, you need probably about 80% or 80% of the information that you want is about the maximum, and you should be making your decisions in that space. And he said at times you might only get maybe 60 to 80% of that information. So recognize that the longer you work through the idea of starting your own business, the information, again, if you're doing it through a franchise, talking to franchise brands, working with your franchise consultant, the longer it takes you to do that, the less and less likely that you're actually going to do it. And so I would say, in my experience, you probably want, from first time you start doing analysis or thinking about this or working with your career coach, from that point, I would say the realistically 4 months, maybe 6 months tops. If you can't get this fundamentally under control, all your information, and realistically making a decision 3 to 4 to maybe 5 or 6 months tops, you're probably not going to do it ever. And I would tell you that if you don't feel you can make it in that 3 to 4 to 5 month time frame, if you can't make that decision, you don't feel you could make that decision, or you're starting and you're realizing, oh boy, I'm just not getting the information I think I need, odds are you should just keep your day job, do what you have to do to be more valuable to your employer. So again, time, in addition to fear, and sort of a spinoff or a subset of fear, are going to be two of the three things we're going to talk about that will hold you back. And I'm identifying these for you so they don't hold you back from, again, reaching your objectives, reaching and achieving your goals, and experiencing the dreams in your life that you want to have. So the last one I want to talk about, and we call it in the industry spouse aside, but fundamentally what it is the identifying of the fact that your spouse, your support network around you, is just not there. They're not on board. They don't believe in your dreams. Honestly, in some cases, they don't believe in you. I'll be very straightforward and candid. So, what I'm talking about here is, this is probably even for franchises, but this is probably, this, in addition to being not being capitalized properly, are probably the two biggest actual business killers in life. The fact that you don't have a support network around you, and if you have a wife, you have a husband, or you have a significant other in your life, they need to be on board. Any quality franchise is going to ask, and be sure they're going to typically ask to meet, and they're going to typically want to meet. Pardon me. They're going to typically want to meet, and they're going to want to be sure personally that your spouse is on board. Another good reason in the franchising space, as to why it's important for a franchisor to meet with your spouse, is the fact that they can answer questions directly that you maybe don't have the answers for, or if you're just trying to speak with your spouse and then ask those questions, and then, I mean, there's just too much translation going on there, and potentially that, again, could just not transfer or translate the right information. One of the biggest problems I see is that the candidates that we work with don't bring their spouses into the mix, into the decision-making process until it's too late. They don't bring them in earlier. And honestly, who better to help you assess something? Who better to help you decide that, this is a great type of business or a profession or company for me, than the person that you live with, the person that you're married to, the person that probably is one of maybe the two people in this world that know you the best. So we encourage our clients to bring their spouses in pretty early, because what I've experienced in my 23 years is the fact that what often kills the deals here, and kills you going for your dreams and achieving the objectives and the goals you want to in life, what I find is it's a almost that old passing in the night. It's a major gap in the knowledge of the opportunities that you're considering, because you bring your significant other or your spouse into the process too late. So we encourage our candidates, our clients, to bring their partners in, bring their spouses into the decision-making process as quickly as they can, so that we can help both of you achieve the goals and the dreams that you have. So again, fear, don't let the fear of the unknown ruin the possibilities and the potential that you have and that you want to have through business ownership. Knowledge, I didn't say it earlier, but knowledge is what I would call the antidote to fear. So educate yourself, work with advisors, work with a franchise consultant, a career coach who's going to both advise you and train you and teach you. Look for programs. Franchise Building Expert is going to be bringing out educational online courses, as well as teaching programs, live teaching programs that are going to help you educate yourself. So knowledge and education is the antidote to fear. So fear is one of the things that will hold you back. We can help you with that. Time. We're going to work with you to realistically make a sound, informed, educated decision. So our consultants, work with advisors, work with a career coach or a franchise broker if you're looking at franchises. But recognize that don't start this process until you're ready to make a decision in 3 to maybe 6 months. And then lastly, bring the decision makers together, particularly your spouse. Pull in your circles of support, the people, the 1, the 2, the maybe 3 people in life who will support you in this process, or support you once you do decide, to move forward with your move forward with a decision like starting your own business. Bring these people in early to your decision-making process. Literally bring your spouse or significant other into the investigation journey, the discovery journey with you, because these are the 3 things that will hold you back from experiencing and achieving the dreams that you've always had.